Dun, 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 dun. Na, 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 na. Dun, 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 dun. Na, 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 na. I feel like that's Star Wars, but I was going for Superman. How's it going? Welcome to my home. I can't tell what, because I can't see from there. What's going on? I am in the middle of cooking and writing, but I do believe I finally discovered what I'm going to do about my YouTube journey. That's a lot of forehead. Hold on, that is so strong. It's just in the middle of writing. You can't tell. Let me, I turn the camera off because I'm old. Let me switch it around. Oh, I'm still old. Just everybody hold on. Everybody slow down. There we go. I was in the middle of writing today, reading a little bit, planning projects and such. So much going on. And it hit me. And I don't know if I want to name the channel this because I think that's a bit aggressive. But really, we're just going to go with the vibe of cna't fighting fascism. What does that mean? Does it mean she's out in the streets? Hell no. Maybe a little bit in very specific capacities. But I don't mean fighting fascism in the sense of getting out there on the streets, protesting every day. That is a way to do it, absolutely. But I'm very big on the idea that being all of who you are is also a form of resistance. So I'm finna figure it out just like you. Cause y'all expect me to have the answers for everything. And we're all brand new to this. So I feel like what that looks like for me is a little bit of lifestyle, because fighting fascism is a lifestyle, period, point blank. But also figuring out what the solutions are, the solutions people are talking about, whether that's sustainability, whether that's figuring out where your mutual aid resources are. I'm just gonna explore. I'm also gonna share what I'm reading. And we're also gonna see if this makes the final cut, because I feel like I forgot everything that I wanted to say in my YouTube intro. But here we are. Would you like to see what I'm cooking for dinner? Follow me to the kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. It looks much bigger on the camera there, but it is what it is. I have started my quest for sustainability by coming up out of the major grocery stores. I'm not gonna say fully and completely, because did I just get some food Instacarted because I didn't have everything to cook my meal? Absolutely, got it from Kroger though. But I've since begun going to the farmer's market out in DeKalb, and boy, am I having a field day. I picked up this lentil bean salad with cranberries. Don't knock it till you try it. It is delicious. I decided that I was gonna make some chicken, put some kale on the side. Ooh, roasted Japanese sweet potatoes. I'm gonna do that. How do I get you on top of something? There we go. There we go. Boom, bam, bop. Dang, you still can't see me if you do that. My forehead is shiny again. We used to pray for skin like this to shine like this. So, whatever, we'll figure it out. I also just wanted to get started. That's why this first video is so like all over the place, because one thing about me, I feel like things need to be perfect, but I feel like this is the most perfect way I can enter this. I wanted an opportunity to do YouTube for people to not take me so seriously, because I am very unserious in the grand scheme of things. But I feel like I said, this is an opportunity for me to show that my worldview, my purview in the parking lot isn't just something that I cook up to share on Fridays, and I've been doing it for 5+ years. I got a TV show to do it, so I think y'all know that it's authentic, but it's also my lifestyle. And it's also like a continuous effort. And so I'm just gonna show that through this purview. So yeah, we are not eating out. We're not relying on big box grocery stores, at least in video 1. Hey, and we're cooking some din din before my homegirl come over so we can watch Love Island. The homegirl in question never came because she's a liar. Cutting board. Now the other thing about this is, it's a work in progress. So we live in a society where there's nothing that is untouched by racism, capitalism, sexism, homophobia, and we are trying every day to find alternatives. Yes, that means that don't come over here expecting perfection. Absolutely not. If I'm doing my makeup and I have a product and the company has a backstory that you don't like, relax. I'm gonna come around to it. It's not a revolution and complete divestment from all the things. It's not gonna happen in one night. It's not gonna happen in a series of videos. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I'm not your superwoman.
I'm finding it.
It take you that long to find it?
It does.
I don't know the rest of it. But with that said, give me a break. And it's not that I'm going to deny the validity of your gripe with said company. I'm just thinking that because a lot of makeup brands have a lot of like discontent, and some of the ones that like are our faves might not have products that are good for my skin. So again, the corollary, and I'm figuring it out. How much more life my mic got? We're gonna find out. Went and got some fruit and vegetable wash from the Trader Joe's a while ago. How we feel about, I know it's this one creator that called him Tradarius. How we feel about TJ? He cool? He cool? You know, there's so many different stores that purport to be the answer or, you know, better options, but you win some, you lose some, you know what I'm saying? I'm only human. Is them the words? Y'all can still hear me? This is nice. It's not as bad as I thought. Another reason, I'm gonna finish washing this potato. I'll be back. I'm not your superwoman. I'm only human. You're also gonna find out in these videos that I am a medium, not even medium, a medium singer. And for those of you who are aware, I have an album that is OTW. You won't hear me sing on that either. What was I saying? I don't remember. I hate that for me. We're also going to find out that I may have a little bit of ADHD. A little bit of ADHD. Because when I get on the tangent about thinking about something in particular, we stick with that. And if I make a right, who knows if we're going to get back on the highway. Very much like an Atlanta exit. If you are not hip to Japanese sweet potatoes, try them out. Where can you get them? Sprouts, Whole Foods. I know those might not be accessible in every area. Don't get me to talking about food deserts. But they're very good. I can't speak for the populace when it comes to Japanese sweet potatoes because a friend of mine said they found them nasty. I like them, but in my old age, I find that I'm just enjoying the taste of foodstuffs in general, you know, without a bunch of processing and things like that. So, you know, I think they're good. They're sweet, but not like a sweet potato. So you just got to be prepared for a different experience. I think a way to taste them that might be more accessible, is Sweet Green. Sweet Green got purple sweet potatoes? I think I just made that up too. They had them. I feel like that's how I was introduced to these, through Sweet Green. Some would say protect your phalanges. I'm doing the best I can. Y'all saw that one time I cooked Christmas dinner by myself? I do be chefing. I'm only human. I'm not singing it the right way, I know. Also, I only deal in chicken thighs, mixing with the chicken breast. Very dry, very not good. I like dark meat. Wow. Oh, I think that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, no.
This isn't so bad. I was also very anti-YouTube and vlogging and such because I don't like y'all in my business. But this feels kind of fun because again, it all has a point. But in a nutshell, I've gathered you here today because, like I said, I think I'm figuring out. I'm thinking YouTube for sure, but also on this what do we do about fascism kick, like it's gonna require some sort of getting outside. And again, I don't mean that you have to go march and such, but you're gonna have to read more. You're gonna have to get outside your comfort zone. That's for damn sure. You also have to going to get outside the realm of possibility you've been led to believe is your only possibility. And I was doing some journaling on this idea earlier. I'm not gonna give y'all too much because I think it would actually be great for a speaking engagement to delve in a little bit deeper. But I think a lot of what we're struggling with is, sorry, let me wash my chicken. Oh, see, this is very much why. Dang, I think I gotta throw this chicken away. And unfortunately, this is gonna have to be a teaching moment for all of us. Let me know if I'm being wasteful, but I grew up in a Black household, so I did not grow up using the defrost system in the microwave, and I'm just now learning it. And usually I catch my meat before it starts to cook a little bit, but this has been out. I put it in the microwave. It has cooked a little bit, and I just don't feel, especially like I'm about to feed some of this to my friend, it doesn't feel the most sanitary, and it doesn't feel the most safe to eat with the chicken being 2 different temperatures. So I'm going to defrost the fresh pack and watch it a little bit more closely, because my mama was over here earlier and she was distracting me. But I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go, is I think we're facing a severe lack of imagination, and it's not our fault. And I'm not saying that from a privileged perspective, because I know that, am I even in camera? You can see me, period. I know that, okay, I'm focused. Forehead still shine. We used to pray for times like this, to shine like this. Doesn't matter. Time I spent on some lot. If you want my skincare routine, we'll talk about it later. Anyways, the point, everybody, we're facing an imagination epidemic. And I don't say that from a point of privilege, because I know the effects of racism and classism are real. And I know it's hard for us to just detach from our reality, because these things have become tent poles in our reality, and it causes everybody to be at different stages in their liberation ideology and what they're willing to lose and what they're willing to give up. But I say this often, if you let them, especially with this particular regime, they will take it from you anyway. So we have the opportunity to exercise the agency to do something with what we have and create something new to meet needs in a way we never thought before. And unfortunately, we've just been limited in our imagination, because the people who, and this is the last thing I'll say, the people who have had the monopoly on imagination for the past 400 years have only been building worlds in a very particular way. And when we think about what we might lose when we engage, like, there's so many people talking about the only way to do this is a general strike. I am someone who agrees with that. But there's so many people who will say, like, what if I lose my job? Well, that's one, because we don't necessarily know. We're not familiar with mass organizing and what we're able to negotiate and leverage and what we can put on a list of demands. But that's neither here nor there. Folks who feel like they have too much to lose, folks who have families and kids, and, you know, people who like the way that they live. When you want to stop, when you want to fight oppression, you're not just fighting. When you want to fight fascism, and maybe this is a good way to tie up the video and the premise of us doing this thing together. When you want to fight fascism, you're pulling something up from the root. And when you pull it up from the root, that means everything that's born of it, even the things that make you comfortable, go with it. So we've got to ask ourselves, do you really want liberation? Or do you want the privilege you've been able to extract to remain accessible to you? Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got for you today. Come back as cna't continues to fight fascism. You and I, one hell of a chemistry. Baby,